I think, she always said that the highest form of wisdom is being kind to people.
What advice would you give to someone who's just getting in this side of the industry?
Success is not about, being perfect right there. You fall, you get up. You fall, you get up. Somewhere, somehow, you will hit it right.
To me, you're like a butterfly floating around, all vibrant. But what is your creative process like? What was that like?
I need a sip.
Hi guys, I'm Amanda Lynn, the host for Rubbing Elbows. Today I am so excited because I have an amazing interior designer and furniture maker extraordinaire, amazing energy person, Cesar Giraldo, born in Colombia, where as a child he discovered his love for color and form, which is to date are the foundational elements of his design. He's based in West Hollywood, California, with national and international residential, commercial, and hospitality projects. He's the founder and principal designer of Cesar Giraldo Design. His poetic approach with the placement of objects creates welcoming environments that exude elegance and elevate the human spirit. He is also an accomplished furniture and product designer, having recently collaborated with Maribon Rugs. I don't want to say it wrong. Maribon Rugs on his Straight Lines, Unexpected Curves rug collection, and with Le Bravo on a leather collection. In 2022, the LA Times named him one of the top 25 designers in LA, as well as favorite designer by the California Home and Design Awards. He has been featured in Architectural Digest, California Home and Design, California Homes, Casa Vogue, Forbes, Global Properties, Luxury Home Magazine, among many others. Beyond his passion for design, he is also a philanthropist at heart. He founded the Espiritu Santo Project Foundation in Colombia, where he's from, which provides art programs and education for at-risk youth to break the cycle of drugs and violence. So thank you so much for being here today. You already know that I think that you're incredible, but I know that you have so much knowledge to share with everyone, and your story is very moving. So that's why I'm really grateful that you're here today. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I love you both. You're amazing, Amanda.
Thank you.
Yes, it's the connection is evident.
Yes.
It's thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And I had dinner with you a few days ago because we're going to see each other a lot more regularly now.
Of course.
And I wanted to have him here in all his fabulousness and his amazing energy to be my first interior designer extraordinaire to do my podcast. So I had that discussion with you and I'm like, it's either this week or you're not going to be the first. And he's like, this week I'm coming.
This week I'm the first one.
He has to be the first, which I'm so thankful that you are.
Yes.
But with that being said, we're going to talk about how we met, but I wanted to ask you to tell a little bit about who you were growing up as a child and what was your life like growing up?
Colombia, Medellin, my hometown. Growing up was very beautiful, I have to say. I had an amazing, beautiful childhood.
Amazing.
Beautiful parents, super loving. My dad in the coffee business. That was my upbringing. Coffee paid for everything, and I still remain a coffee lover. In Colombia is such a you must visit, which I will bring you with me.
Yes, I'm going to go with you 1,000,000%.
That's a trip that I promise I have to bring you because when you're there, it's a very warm country. In fact, it came up in the Guinness report as one of the happiest countries.
Happiest? Oh, wow.
Yeah, happiest country in the world. So we are happy people. We are by nature we're happy people. You come to my hometown. Everybody's house is your house.
Yes.
You are invited everywhere. It's a very welcoming, place. So growing up in Colombia in the coffee business, of course, when I finished high school, I ended up in Iowa. Mm-hmm. Not by choice.
How the fuck did you end up in Iowa?
Right. Now, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, my mother was kidnapped when I was 6 months from finishing high school.
Wow.
We had a beautiful conversation one Sunday afternoon. I shared actually this the other day. I got an amazing award And I was sharing that story because it really stayed with me and still remains, with me. One afternoon she said to me, Cesar, I want you to go very far, study and become a gentleman. And a week later, we lose her, and that was very painful. So of course her words stay very strong. I finished high school, and I ended up in Iowa. We had this rep came to my high school introducing English programs overseas.
Yes.
He talked about Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, every big spectacular city. And I said, no, I want to go to something small. I want to feel safe. I want to feel, I think at the time I'm going to give you this image because at the time I felt like when you see a little wet bird, when you see a little wet bird and they're shaking because you don't know if they're hungry, if they're cold, or if they need extra cuddling.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. So when I left home, I that was my feeling. I felt like a little wet bird. So Iowa was amazing. Iowa was, people were warm. It felt safe, and no one was being shot. So the corn was delicious, pork was delicious, and I got to learn the language. I got to learn, the culture, and it gave me strength, to take some time to really find who I was as a gay young man, of course, going to Iowa. So, and find really what my route was in life. And also still that word, gentleman, what that meant, what does it take to become a gentleman?
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing about your mother, because I know when we first met, you told me a little bit about that, but I'm thankful that you shared it because I think it's such an impactful part of your story, of course. But I also think it's interesting because when you mentioned Iowa, going from Colombia to Iowa, how the fuck do you end up in Iowa? But you said it made you feel safe, which I also think is interesting because that makes a lot of sense given you've said Colombia, there's a lot of kidnappings there, or there was, from what I've learned about you.
Correct.
And then it makes sense like why you would go from there to Iowa, somewhere that feels more safe to you.
It's polar opposite.
Well, I
Correct.
would think, given what you went through, you would want to feel safety. You lost your mother, who's supposed to be the ultimate safety and provider and who takes care of you, and then you go to Iowa. So how old were you when you went to Iowa?
When I was 17. I was 17 when I left Colombia. And it's interesting because, so I come to Iowa. I come to a very small school.
It was college?
It was college. And so that week when I landed, it was spring break. Everybody was out. So literally the school was empty. And they gave me, I remember this clearly, and this is a very beautiful moment. They gave me a very big key, to come into my bedroom. I never seen a big key that big, it was a very strong key. And so I went to bed and I was like, oh my Lord, where am I right now? It's snowing. Never seen it snow in my life.
Wow.
So then I fell asleep with my tears. And the following day I woke up, I raised the blinds and I saw literally like probably 20 gorgeous deer in front of me. And that right there,
nature.
That right there, there was almost a message from God. That right there, I thought, okay, I landed in the right spot. This is what I'm meant to be.
That gave me goosebumps.
And that was it. Yeah. And after that, I just, it was like, go on, Cesar, go.
How long were you there for in Iowa?
I was in Iowa for, I had to take a full year of English classes.
Did you speak any English when you went there?
Zero.
Wow.
I love to talk. I love people.
You're so expressive too.
I love people. There's one thing I love people because
Same.
That's it. And I had to speak with my hands. I had to do I will draw things on paper just to show that I wanted something, you know?
Right.
You were expressing in a different way.
It was very, and so I had to take a whole year of English classes so I could pass the TOEFL test, because you have to take the TOEFL test in order to take regular classes. And one morning I was taking a very long walk on campus, which is a very beautiful campus. And I saw this beautiful lady far, wearing a very symmetric, dress. And I went, actually, now you need to know this. I learned English from French Quebecian Catholic nuns.
Wow. That's interesting. What was that like?
I need a sip.
Exactly. I'm like, what was that like?
No, seriously. So this I from Sister Veronique, Sister Olson, and I also learned how to drink red wine with them, because they had little cottages, and they will invite me to take to drink some wine from time to time.
Yes.
But so I saw this lady far, and until we came together, of course, with my bad English at the time, she said, "Hello, how are you, young man?" We started talking, and she said, "What are you doing here?" I says, "I'm taking English classes." And she says, "Oh my God, I would love, welcome to Dubuque." And so she goes, "Hey, when you have some time, come see my office. I'm in that glass building. I would love to see you." I did. My sister has sent me a care package with coffee from my dad's farm.
Of course.
And I came to her office and I brought her a pound of coffee. And it happened to be the president of the school.
Oh, wow.
Sister Catherine Dunn. And so she said to me, "I would love for you to stay. I only have 4 African-American students in my school, and you will be the 5th, minority that I want you to, I would love for you to stay. And please tell me that you're going to stay." And I says, "Well, I have to talk to my father. You're not cheap." So, that I got offered a scholarship.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And I was working Wednesday through Sunday, so I could pay for my schooling, part of my schooling, and my, the basic needs.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it.
That's
Nice.
incredible.
That's
Amazing.
really cool.
Well, how long were you in Iowa for? 4 years?
No, 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, because I had to take a year of English classes.
Yes.
And then I did double major.
Oh, wow.
I study.
Was it in design?
No. I never studied design in my life.
Never?
No.
Wow.
No, never. I'm self-taught. I study business and communications. And so it was a double major, so it took me a little bit longer. And also because of the English still was a little bit weak.
Yes.
At the time, so I had to take extra classes so I could make up for the credits. And 7 years.
Wow, 7 years.
And then LA, I landed in LA right after that. I moved to Chicago for like about 7 months. And Chicago was brutal with the winter, with the
windy.
With the wind will chill from a lakeshore.
Yeah.
I said, forget it. I'm out of here.
What year did you get to Los Angeles?
2008.
Oh, okay.
I landed in Los Angeles in 2008. I met I met my partner, and right after we met, and then we moved in a month later. We have 2 girls now. And my dad also passed away that year.
Sorry to hear
in a car accident.
When you moved to LA?
When I moved to LA, which
wow.
I have to tell you that probably left me. That was like it really was. It was tough. It was tough, and luckily my partner has been amazing. I think he's been such a pillar. He's been such the force. He's super sharp. He's very, and I was lucky. It was a gift of God, to really have met him at that time. And then, it was, life and God, it's just, you end up in the right spots, in the right places at the right time with the right people. Like I'm here with you today.
Amazing. We have to talk about how we met, but I want to bring Chuck into the equation. I want to introduce Chuck and just say, Chuck is amazing.
Chuck, we love you.
You love
I already love you. Yes, yeah. I mean, who doesn't love Chuck?
Right.
Chuck, you're not a good person.
Ask my mom. She loves me the most,
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I just want people to know that I got Chuck here.
Yeah.
Together. So when I do my podcast, I love to have Chuck here.
And I have to say, you two makes us a beautiful. It's a great dynamic.
Good dynamic.
Yeah. Shirt. He's hashtag realtor.
I'm
like hashtag like Gucci.
You are the number one Gucci realtor. Yes. Yeah.
We go together pretty good.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so I wanted to ask another question because I know you're such an artist. You exude this energy of like artistry to me. To me, you're like a butterfly floating around, all vibrant. But what is your creative process like? Do you do affirmations? Do you meditate? How do you start to create your process?
When I was in Iowa with the nuns, there is a walk ritual every morning. You must touch nature. You must be in touch with nature.
They make you do that?
Well, I sort of learned from them like those morning walks are very important.
Yes.
And so amazing. When I came to Los Angeles, of course, LA. I mean, are you kidding? With all these canyons that the city offers?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. LA is such a great. So yes, when I came to Los Angeles, I immediately started, doing that, nature. So every single morning, I'm an early riser. I love to wake up early.
Me too. What time do you wake up?
5:01.
Me too.
5:01 a.m.
Every day, like clockwork, 5 o'clock.
Every single day. I don't care how cold, it's early rise.
You're trained, honey.
Yeah, it's because it's very important for me. I love to wake up when people are sleeping, things are quiet. It gives you time to really digest the night before, the day before, and program yourself for what's really coming up or what's happening during the day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but what I do, I take early walks. I go, I dive into nature. I go for a good hour and a half. It's my mental escape. It gives me. I meditate. I breathe. And I project amazing ideas.
You visualize and you create while you're doing that.
And amazing ideas come up with
because you're in a form of meditation.
Right. And nature is so vital. Nature is such a. It might not until you really experience it, but it really gives you a lot of strength. So I always do that daily, sacredly, rain.
So you wake up in the morning at 5 and you go for an hour and a half walk right in the morning?
Right in the morning.
And you do it in West Hollywood or where do you go?
No, I go to the mountains of Griffith Park.
Pretty.
I go to the mountains of Griffith Park and I walk. It's been a walk that I've been doing since 2008.
I want to do that with you one day.
I would love to
do that.
I would love to take you. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's every single morning and I've been doing it since 2008. So it's something, it's a habit. It's the way I eat breakfast. It has to happen first. So that I have to say that's how I really get inspired.
You centered for the day.
That keeps me centered, and also it keeps me humble. It keeps me aware. When you see a little bird close to you, if you go like this, that bird is so alert.
Right.
The alertness of nature is so vibrant. So that I am aware of. I'm always aware, of that. It's that vibration, and you get that from nature immediately. So that's probably how I get to myself.
I want to go back. I want to go back to being a gentleman, like what you defined, what you define as being a gentleman, because I know different people have, different definitions for a gentleman. What is your definition? Like, what do you strive to be as a gentleman?
I think that when I was growing up, my mother treated everyone so well, so nicely.
I love
she was
that.
So respectful to everyone. It didn't matter who they were, what they were doing. It was about treating people right, with kindness.
Yes.
And I think, she always said that the highest form of wisdom is being kind to people. And that to me, it's always, if that's what it takes for me to be a gentleman, then I think I am. Because
you are.
I love to treat everyone, even doing, projects, design projects that some of my projects take 3 years, 7 years in the making, because these are very large scale projects. I always, I treat the workers, everyone when I come, I say how they are. I ask, if they need anything. to me, that's so important because I know what it is to me to be at the bottom. And not that these people are at the bottom. Not that I don't mean that.
Right.
I mean that it's everybody has a story.
Yes.
It is, everybody has a story. So judgment to me does not exist. I completely I don't have a TV. I don't watch the news. I don't because I completely avoid the news.
Me too. I haven't watched it since COVID.
Yes, I don't watch the news. I try to stay away from anything that so I always try to to stay very positive and to treat everyone right and proper.
Yeah, I think I heard or I read it somewhere that being a gentleman is somebody who makes people around them feel comfortable, and and you described that exactly. And I think it's really like high emotional intelligence.
Yes.
To really feel, really gauge the person, really know what their energy is like, where they're at, in their life. And knowing that everybody has a story, knowing everybody's going through something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everybody, we all are. And also to be sensitive about it, and it's so important. And because always, because I know my story. I know what it takes. I know what it takes to be Amanda. I know what it takes to be Chuck.
Because you've worked yourself all the way up from that.
Exactly. And so it's respecting that.
Yes.
It's huge.
What's funny, he was writing down, when I came here to this country, I was 10 years old, I knew zero English. Zero. And it was like this, like you're talking with your hands, like you're miming it, but you're using words and you only know how to say this, that, there. You make a whole sentence with 3-4 words.
Where did you come from?
Israel.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been in Israel, but they said that Israel is a sister with Medellin, Colombia. That's what they say.
I hear amazing things about Israel, honestly. I hear there's a lot of business there, that properties go for a lot of money. I hear fabulous things. I want to float in the Dead Sea.
The people are beautiful. The food is delicious.
People are beautiful.
The highest millionaires per capita is in Israel.
And Israel.
Really?
In Tel Aviv.
Take me over there.
You'll do just fine over there.
Some houses in California.
Miss Amanda will be okay.
Yeah.
In Israel. Yes.
I'll figure it out.
Oh,
right.
No problem.
We need to talk about how you guys first met, because that's a great
exactly
story.
what I was gonna say.
Great story.
So do you want to share a little bit, or should I start it off, or you start it off?
No, I think I want to say it because I was very impressed. I was very impressed. So I just finished a project in Bel-Air.
Yes.
It's about 25,000 square feet.
Yes.
It's going for $68 million.
68 million, honey.
$68 million.
You heard that.
It's a beautiful house.
It's a stunning house. Sean did an impeccable job.
Yes, he did.
Job.
And Sean is a true hero.
Sean is incredible developer.
Incredible, and a beautiful human being.
Yes.
He's a
Very
great,
kind.
great.
I have him saved as Bel-Air Sean, by the way. Yeah, Bel-Air Sean.
Yeah, good. Now, not because I did it. Or we did it. Not it's all of us, right? But the house is beautiful. You've been there. It's a beautiful property.
Yeah.
So, and stories say that it used to belong the lot. It was a small cottage that belonged to Marilyn Monroe, and the cottage burned down, and so Sean bought the lot. So that's the story behind 1859. But so raining, cold. We never had this winter in Los Angeles. It almost felt like Chicago.
Right.
Freezing cold. I park my car. I get out of my car. I turn around. And I see these two beauties, Amanda and Abigail, wearing black caps.
Wearing the agency hat.
Yeah. All black, high boots. And I said, where did you come from? And he goes, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And I said, well, what are you doing here? And he says, well, we're working. He goes, working, really? And so they asked me, what are you doing? He goes, well, I just finished this house here. And they says, can we see it? He goes, of course, welcome. So they came to the house. I gave them a tour. And then you can tell the rest.
So just to clarify, it's the first week of 2023. It's literally Tuesday, first week of the year. I was in Vegas for New Year's, crying on Monday because I'm like, I'm such a loser. I haven't worked. I'm here drinking. I hate my life. That's how I felt. So I'm like, rain or shine, I'm going to work tomorrow. Like nothing's stopping me. I'm door knocking all of Bel-Air because I had my listing coming up and I know all of Bel-Air Road on one side, but I wanted to work my way up the other side of the road. So I have Abigail with me. We're door knocking every listing down Bel-Air Road, and then it's raining, and then I run into you. We literally intercepted in the middle of the street out of a random car. I didn't even know where you're coming from, and I could not see the house. I had no idea where he's going. I don't know. So I'm like, where are you? We aligned in the street, and then it's raining on us. So the respect that we got from him, because we're in the rain, 2 pretty girls knocking in the rain the first week of the year. And when you're in Bel-Air, you're in a canyon. So when it rains, you're in the clouds.
Right.
You can't even see the street, really. It's all foggy, which personally, I love that. But yeah, we intercepted, ends up being a $68 million house. I talked to you for 2 seconds. You're like, what are you doing out here? I'm like, what are you doing out here? Finishing a house. So then we went inside with you. That's when I met Sean. The house was not even done yet. This is January. Wasn't on the market. Wasn't done. No. And then we saw the whole house. It's beautiful. And I realized you're the designer and you were putting things in their place and doing all the finishing touches. But it was incredible. And now that day ended up being so magical because I thought, who goes out and door knocks in the rain? Who's out here in the rain? The truth is no one. So it changed my whole point of view because now I'm like, the respect I got that day, like even now in the podcast, that day ended up being magical. I also met other developers. I met everyone on that street that I hadn't known yet. The looks on their faces when they see 2 girls door knocking in the rain.
Oh, Sean was super impressed.
They were all impressed. It was also, it was eye-opening for me because that was my first time door knocking in the rain. But it's like when you're tenacious and you're going to do it, it doesn't matter. But it was magical because I met you and now our relationship has grown. Right. That day blossomed into so many things for me and now to hear you say that story. And when I go to other big events and I meet other developers that had properties on Bel-Air Road, when I run into them, they're like, this girl is a hustler. She was out in the rain. Yes, so like, look how magical that is. Like to me, I'm like, that's incredible.
And it ended with him saying, I remember you saying, we have to be friends.
And we did. And look,
yes. I immediately said that. Are you kidding me? No, we have to be friends.
Yeah.
Because it's energy.
Of course.
It's vibration. And I felt it right away.
Yes. And you're relentless. I'm going to give you a side compliment. You're relentless because also when it comes to Bel-Air Road,
Honey, Bel-Air Road is I am going to be the queen of Bel-Air.
A few times she said, I'm going to know everybody on Bel-Air Road, what they're doing, what they're going through, what they ate for dinner. I'm going to know everything. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be of service. And she's doing it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think also, when I really see Amanda and I think of her, because we have moments to think about the people that we meet. I felt so good about her. I felt so good about you, Amanda. I have to tell you, I know you have worked very hard.
Thank you.
And you will continue shining. And you're there. You are.
Thank you.
You are. So now you will be. You are.
You're doing it.
That's how exactly you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It takes a while for you to feel, to really feel that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the world is giving it to you. In fact, right now, sometimes, not that I question it. I don't question it. I believe it. It's in my DNA. I feel it. I'm in it.
Yes.
In the game. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like everything. We have fragile moments. They're fragile days. They're fragile. It's normal.
Right. It's human. Robots. We're insecure. We're
insecure. It's of course in all of those things. Of course, it's whoever tells you that they're not insecure, they're lying to you because we are. We feel those moments, and but overall, it's a good feeling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We definitely are there. I give kudos and thanks to my life every day because even though I haven't sold 100 million in real estate and that I'm on my way, but I know that when I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing all these amazing things. Like even today I had a $15 million brokers open. I rushed over here to do a podcast with you.
Correct.
We filmed something for a German TV show last week. I filmed Selling Sunset last week. Like there's a million things, like so many things. So even like, as you said, it's the beauty is in the journey. Yes. Like when I sell the first 100 million in real estate, am I going to sit there and be like, I'm there. Yay. Let's celebrate. I did it. I'm done now.
Right.
Never.
Right.
It's going to be like, okay, now I got to keep going. Cause now I hit that, but I'm still alive. Like the dream lives on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The beauty is in the journey.
Yes.
It really is.
The beauty is in the process.
Right.
Because in the process, like everything, like even doing interior design or whatever projects I do, it's the bumps and the detours. It's those moments,
the highs and the lows.
The highs and the lows is really who you are. That's when you really, know who is in front of you,
Right.
who you're dealing with. When you're in the trenches, that's when you know really who can really, push hard and can keep up with you, or you can keep up with them.
That's right.
Because
That's
it was, in Bel-Air, and also in Hawaii, I just.
Yes, tell us some about your Hawaii projects. I saw the photos.
Because I was doing he's an amazing man. He's very particular about what he wants, how he wants it, and who he is as a person, which I respect very much.
Yes.
And I love the fact that he's a very strong person, and of course, when you have someone that's strong, you also have to keep up with that.
You have to meet them where they're at.
When you're saying strong, you're talking about the client?
The client,
Okay.
Being personality wise and how they want things, and I remember he told me one day at the very beginning of if I was gonna have the project or not, because this house in Hawaii in particular, it's very unique because it's the only house literally on the planet, if you really see it, is the only house that has the view of that view is the only house in the canyon with the Lanikai views in Hawaii. Oahu is absolutely.
Which island? Oahu?
Oahu.
Okay.
In Lanikai, you see these little two keys.
Yeah.
The view is incredible. The view itself is worth everything. And so when he told me over the phone, I don't know you. How should I hire you?
Oh, you got hired over the phone?
No. He says, how should I hire you? And he says, okay, what are you doing on Thursday? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, there is a flight at 7 a.m. I took that flight at 7 a.m. to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I landed at 3 hours. They were 3 hours behind, so I landed by 10:50. We met and we had lunch, and I left Hawaii at 3:30, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was back in LA at 11:30 p.m.
With a contract in hand?
Day.
No.
Okay.
It was a Thursday. And the following Tuesday, I was in the project.
Nice.
I was with the project. So it's those things,
You commit
Yes,
to going the extra mile.
And they're going the extra mile. It's also, it's also that sometimes that fear, because we get fearful.
Well, you put yourself out there.
Of course, yes, of course. It's normal.
Yeah.
So, and that the process was also kind of, amazing, getting to know this very particular person. He's the founder of Kona Coffee.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the founder of Kona Coffee. So,
well, you guys have the coffee tie, though.
Yeah. So coffee.
That's also like meant to be.
Yes, meant to
the
be.
Alignment.
The alignment of
yes.
that was also.
Good catch.
I always catch things like that.
Do you think that was an epiphany, or what do you call that?
No. I think that you were in alignment.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's what it is, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So
obviously, because you got that job and it happened, so you were meant to do it. So you were aligned.
So that to me also, when I found out that he was the founder of Kona Coffee, and I told him that I grew up with coffee, that was a very interesting, a relationship to begin with,
mm-hmm.
and the process of that.
Yeah, Kona Coffee, saying Kona Coffee anywhere in Hawaii and any of the islands is like saying here, I don't even know what to.
Hollywood?
It's like in Hollywood, yeah. It's like saying Hollywood.
Yeah, it's like, it's
Kona is everything. Ice cream. I mean, everything. There's
good for them.
That's amazing.
Really
so I know that you've worked with a lot of celebrities and high-end clients. Is there any project in particular that really stood out to you, that either from something you learned or something you failed at, but something that was impactful?
In terms of like the clients or celebrities, L.A. Reid.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good man. He's a very sweet man. I love him.
He was a client of yours. You did his house, right?
Yes, I did his house.
Is that the red velvet room that you showed me?
Yes, I did. I did his. I curated his house. He had sold his space in New York, and then we did a beautiful curation of some of the pieces that he had. He has an amazing art collection, and we did the movie theater. It was very amazing because the movie theater. He said, "Hey Cesar," as we were doing the entire house, he decided to finally do the movie theater. And he goes, "Hey, I would love to do the movie theater. I remember we did the house in stages. Again, the house is about 18,000 square feet.
Wow.
All together.
And where is it at?
In Bel-Air.
In Bel-Air.
Yeah, living quarters.
Is it on Bel-Air Road?
On Bel-Air Road.
I knocked it once.
Yeah, oh really?
I didn't know until you told me after, not to cut you off.
70-40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knocked it once and then they yelled at me. It's a very modern house. They said through the thing, no soliciting. And I was like, ah! When I hear that, I get mad because I'm like, I'm not soliciting.
By the way, let's make sure to bleep the 1740.
But I
didn't know until after when you told me. I'm like, Bel-Air Road, that's him. I should have like used your name or something.
Yeah. He's a sweetheart. He really is. The whole family, they're beautiful family.
They have good taste.
So I did so it was funny because we did a house in stages. This is very trippy. So he calls me in December. I think it was December 27th. And the Grammys, the ceremony was February 10th. And his pre-Grammy party was shooting for February 8th. And so literally we had less than a month a little bit, a few days. And he said, Cesar, do you think that we can do the entire movie theater? And he wanted everything, beautiful cashmere velvet, all burgundy, everything, carpet, drapery, furniture, everything. The most amazing, beautiful, I would say French Nouveau, Red Nouveau lounge. And we did. We started, I was done with the lounge on February 6th. And his party, that was one epic party. I mean, everyone in the music business was in that lounge. It was amazing. And it was amazing for me to see it too, because I was there. I was a part of the, he invited me. And it was very nice to see the whole room looked like this. It's all burgundy. Everybody looked burgundy. It was everyone in the music business was there. And LA was very happy, and I like him a lot. He's a noble man. He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He really is.
That's amazing. That's really cool that you got to design the space and get it done within the deadline, but then also you got to enjoy it when you have like the most prominent people there, Oscar party, whatever. So you got to create it, but then you got to see it come to life with the people enjoying the space, which to me, I find really gratifying.
And in the music business, I mean, to see everybody in the music business, I mean, it's to be in one room.
Yes.
Literally, the biggest head in the music business, they were there. So that's trippy.
I have a question. What would you say, what advice would you give to someone who's just getting in this side of the industry? Because real estate is so broad, right? And a lot of people a lot of our listeners are, realtor, people in real estate world, but also sellers, buyers, whatever, everybody. What would you say, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's just getting started in this kind of...
In the interior design business?
Interior design specifically, yes.
Right. Just go at it. Be specific. Be specific on what is it that you really know about interior design. And if you know nothing, study it. Get good at it. Get very, do research. Be flexible. Be humble. Be humble about it, because it's a very. I always felt that the interior design business, when I was at the beginning when I was doing it, I always felt that was a little bit elitist.
Okay.
That was my feeling. That was my initial feeling, because when I was knocking doors, I was knocking doors.
Yes.
And you have to spray me with bleach to get rid of me. So I will knock.
You're tenacious.
Yes, I just go, exactly.
You'll just keep going.
That's the word. Be tenacious.
That's my favorite word.
Yes. Go at it. Be humble. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. It's also a very individual process.
Yes.
So respect the process. Accept the process, go at it, stay on it, and also be consistent.
Yes.
Be consistent, because I had so many, I can tell you, slaps I can share that with you. And I will come back with the same consistency and with the same narrative. It's always so important to stay on your narrative, to be consistent, because I think consistency and also if you do it once, you do it twice, you do it 3 times, I think repetition makes you an expert.
Yes.
Until you do it 1,000 times. It doesn't matter. And even if you fall again, success is not about, being perfect right there at the first time. You fall, you get up. You fall, you get up.
Right.
It doesn't matter how many times, but you somewhere, somehow, you will hit it right. And when you hit right, make sure you grab to it very strong and you stay on it. And that's it. I think that, it's, I don't know if I said that right.
You did, but the most important thing is to just keep going.
Yeah.
Because even for it can be hard. Design, real estate, doesn't matter what industry you're in, what business you're in. It's not always the highs. Most of it is the chase. Most of it is the struggle. It's only for a second that it's the end, that it's the closing, the last day is the end. Yeah. Everything up until that is a struggle. So you just have to be tenacious and go after it and be unwavering and relentless in what you want. Even Dan Fleischman, the last person we did the podcast with, he said, what do all winners have in common? They're relentless.
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 Right.
And that word is so powerful because it's true. To come from Colombia, go to Iowa, end up on Bel-Air Road with a $68 million listing. That's incredible. That,
that's a big win.
Even me knocking out for my $15 million listing, that's a win for me. I'm out there in the streets doing the work. When you get where you always wanted to go, you don't just sit there and relax now. You really work overtime to keep that spot and really show that you care.
And, for somebody else, a $1.5 million listing is a win, right?
Of course it is. Right? It doesn't matter the price point. These are just examples of
course.
This is the top of where I'm at. That's what pushes me to keep me going.
Yeah. I give the analogy sometimes I think fits perfectly for here. When you go to Vegas and you only hear the slot machines that are winning, you're not seeing the ones that people are just putting more money, markers, this. You're only seeing the winners, and it's
winners.
Because that's what you want to see, though. That's what we're trained to notice.
Right.
Sometimes we overlook all the other things. The winner might be the obvious one that you see, but it takes a village to get there. It's not just that final moment. There's so much.
And you can flip through Instagram stories and you see all of the highlights, right?
Because that's all people share.
That's
exactly.
right.
But the reality is the struggle is the majority of the ride.
Exactly.
The win is very short-lived. You win and you move on to the next one. You don't just sit there and float. And you should celebrate it, of course.
Right. You should.
But most of it is in the work.
It's in the work, yeah. But it's so funny that you guys say it's the big win, because sometimes I really don't see it. Not that I don't see it. Is that I just it's what's the word? I feel that like I say, I want to stay so grounded. I want to be so. It's of course there were so many moments of how will I get there? How but now that I'm in it, that I'm doing it. Is now I just ask God, God, how do I stay, so grounded and so in my own zone that I just so I can continue creating the beauty that I love to do. That's a big thing that I do ask, that it doesn't matter how big projects I do, how big I get to go, how far I get to go. Is to keep me grounded, to not lose it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge because I've seen beautiful people losing it,
and that's the worst, saddest thing in the world.
That's quite sad, and I don't want to get there. I always want to be very grounded, very, very, not in control.
And you are.
Yeah,
you are very much.
Yeah,
those
thank
things.
you. Not in control because I think control is a little bit too. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
Maybe humble is the right word.
Absolutely.
Maybe even present could be the word.
Yes. Yeah. Grounded. Because as you said, you do those walks every day. Yeah. I bet you that is what is keeping you. For me, it's my meditations in the shower.
Yeah.
Because I can't put the phone down. Like I'm so trained to answer the phone call. Even if I don't want to answer, I'm trained myself to answer the calls and always be on the go. But taking that time for yourself in the morning to set your intention for the day is everything, even if it's only 5 minutes. If I had an hour and a half walk like you, I'd probably be in a different ball game. I need to do that with you.
It would be amazing. Imagine in a meditation room in the shower with this beauty.
My wife would not allow me to imagine these things.
Listen, my showers are a vibe.
All my straight friends go Cesar, so how...
Welcome them. I welcome them in there.
Right.
I'm single. Come through. We can meditate
Isn't that
together.
amazing?
Just
Yes,
kidding.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I had to say that because that's not right.
I love that. Thank you for putting that in there.
That's like perfection.
Now everyone's going to imagine me meditating in the shower.
Yeah,
Right.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful because rain is a very beautiful...
Yes, I put it in there.
It's a beautiful element.
I put the crystals in there and then I stop the water that fills it up and then I put the rain sound back on so that I can sit and like hear it.
Beautiful.
Oh, you put the crystals in the water with you?
Levels. Okay, we're at a certain level. I have a healer that I speak to named Nicole High Priestess on Instagram. I'll do calls with her every few months. And she is very good on these energy cleansing baths because when you work all the time, I get very affected by people's energy because I'm very... Like I have a lot of energy, so I feed off of that with others. But at the end of the day, that can really deplete you, especially if you're an empath or, I'm giving a lot of energy. I'm giving 100% to my job, to everything I'm doing, and it does deplete me. So how I recharge, literally, my energy is those showers. I get in, I take a shower, then I take a bath, then I take a shower again. So it's a whole process. But I have a little tray that holds all my rose quartz, and Nicole, the healer, told me to dump them in the water, fill up the bubble bath, and then I meditate and pray, and I'll put them in my hands, and I sit there. And the sound helps flush out all the thoughts because my mind will not turn off. Like even at 3 a.m. when I roll over, it's like, what did you fuck up? What did you forget to do? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And when I do
I'm
that,
gonna think about that. That's something new to learn.
When I do that, it really just helps me. Even if it's 5 minutes, I try to do like 30 minutes of not touching the phone early in the morning, and then I can do it. But it sets my whole intention for the day, just like your walk.
Amazing, beautiful.
Yeah.
Congrats on that one. I'm gonna practice that one.
And I'm going to come on a walk with you because I really want to do that.
Chuck also needs to come on a walk with us.
I would love to come on, but if you guys go at 5 a.m.
What about 5:30, 6?
Chuck,
the sun starts coming up before 6. We got to catch
a lot
the
of
sun.
coffee in the morning.
What if we show up with a coffee?
Yeah.
A coffee.
How about I meet you guys after the hike?
We'll get breakfast. We'll get breakfast.
Yes, there you go.
Chuck, we're going to get you scrambled eggs and sausage.
There it is.
So I want to ask you another question.
Yes.
Do you have favorite designers that you take inspiration from, or is there anyone that inspired you and influenced you to kind of become who you are, or who do you look up to as a role model?
I do. It's that's a very beautiful question because we all get inspired from.
Of course.
We always have to get inspired from someone. I enjoy fashion a lot.
Yes.
I think fashion is a very I love studying color composition. I love texture combination. I love transitions, and I admire fashion. Vivienne Westwood is of course is so sad that she's already gone, but she's been one goddess that I love to watch her because she was someone that did everything, in such a fearless way. And she was always herself, no matter how young or how old she was. Even right before, right after, her death, she was like being Vivienne Westwood. And I really admire her. And I study her a lot. So fashion, sometimes I don't like to make plans on Friday nights. I like to come home. So my weeks, when you're doing interior design, imagine, again, of course, we all have busy lives, but, doing Bel-Air, doing Hawaii, doing a project in Sao Paulo, Brazil, doing a collection in Milan, leather collection, doing an outdoor collection, doing other projects in the city, a lighting collection. So sometimes it can get overwhelming, and the weeks are very, demanding, everybody wants everything at once.
Right.
So Friday nights, I decided that Friday nights are my nights. I just don't do, I don't like to go out. I don't like to commit to anything. And sometimes the weekends, I just like completely shut down because I really need to,
recharge.
Like big bears in the summer,
Right.
the winter time, they need to hibernate, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So my Friday nights, I like to get my earphones and I go into fashion. I love to watch fashion. I love to watch interviews on fashion. I love to study color in fashion. I love all of that. And so that's how I get inspired.
You pull inspiration from watching fashion.
To in fashion, yeah. In color. I'm always very so funny. My biggest I probably have to say fear and strength is color composition. Because
fear and strength?
Yeah, fear and strength. My fear is not to get it right. And my strength is when I get it right, then I celebrate it. Because when I do interior finishes, it's always about that color combination and the texture combination and the flow and the transitions between
the balance
with all the rooms. Also what do I create when you walk in? What is it that I want your senses to feel something? And also when it comes to the decor, is that color combination? Is it right? Is it the right flow? Is it good to your eyes? Is it hitting your senses? So I always feel about that. I always very and I get that from fashion, hands down. I think that's my school.
Yes,
I've been doing it for years.
I love that.
And we'll continue doing it.
Nice.
Because I think there's a connection.
Absolutely.
Always.
It's an expression.
Oh, huge.
I live to dress up. Like everything I do, I'm not even kidding. Everything starts with the outfit. I have an open house today. I'm like, what outfit can I wear to both places where I'll be happy, where I feel like I'm painting the message? I'm like, this is like custom Serbian. It's like, looks like Gucci bees.
Beautiful.
No, but you said the senses though is a big part of it. And something that I find really amazing about you, when I went to 1859, it has a smell. So you created a personalized fragrance for the property called 1859.
1859.
And it was a collaboration with
Ex Nihilo,
Ex Nihilo,
which is a very boutique Parisian perfumery.
Yes.
So the whole idea came up because I love to spray myself with perfumes, with colognes.
And you always smell amazing.
Yeah, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, back to 1, back to 3, back to 2. Get out.
You smell good, honey.
It smells like something like something unique out of like the jungle of Colombia. Whatever that is. So one time I was somewhere and this lady said, hey, what is that smell that you have? Okay. I says, oh, do you want me to send you my blend? So I will take their number. Oh, okay, no problem. I was in Vegas at a design show and I ordered a coffee and the lady at the register says, what is your smell? I love your smell. He goes, and when I saw the line to get Vegas, right? Yeah. When I saw the line, he goes, oh, there's no way I'm gonna wait for that line. Fuck it, it's just, listen, I can give you my blend as long as I don't wait in that line. And he goes, absolutely. So I keep saying my blend. Right. So I thought, you know what? I came to Shani, goes, Shani, you know what? We have to create a smell for the house.
I love that idea. It's so genius.
That was so foreign to Shani. He goes, what do you mean the smell? He goes, Shani, we need to have a
signature scent
for the house, right? So then, okay, then we had to come to the brokers at Campus to sell the idea. They were very receptive. They're very welcoming, and says, okay, no problem.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what is it? So I brought the director, Marine Roland, who's the director for Ex Nihilo in the U.S. So we all got together. And we came up with the 1859 Bel-Air Road, or we call it 1859 scent. And when Forbes, which was the first one to come up with the story, they call it a scent of a mansion. 1859.
Oh, scent of a mansion.
Thank you, Forbes, for that tagline, honey.
Love that.
It wasn't amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
What would you describe the scent as? Because I've smelled it, because I've been in the house multiple times.
Right.
What do you describe the scent as?
It was a good. It's a combination of citrus, smoke, a little bit of a smoke, and there is Ex Nihilo has a scent called Flor Narcotique, which is almost like it's being addicted to this flower. So it's the Flor Narcotique, the smoke, and the citrus. It's a combo of the three. And that's what we created for 1859.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And you see it too, the packaging too. I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
I
packaging,
smell, it smells so good in here.
And we do also in the candles. So the idea is obviously when you come to 1859 that you experience the house, you smell the house, and when you leave, we give you a small gift that follows you when you get home. So you still smell it. So you feel that
Love
is your
that.
home.
It feels like home.
It feels like home, yes.
I love that. Well, listen, I want to say we just hit an hour, and I would like to stay within the YouTube algorithm and guidelines so we can get as much views as possible, because this is all really, really, like, really great stuff. I think we should do a field, an episode where we go to like your next project, like your next big project. We can do like a field on the, you know, on the set, on the scene.
Or even 1859.
Or even 1859, you're more than welcome.
Amazing.
Are you kidding me? It's for 68. I don't think everybody has
nothing's gonna
$68 million
be that.
to buy it tomorrow. I mean, the house took 7 years to build.
Yes.
And also you need to meet Sean. Sean is a lovely man.
Sean's incredible.
Sean is incredible. He will welcome you. Absolutely. We should come.
Let's do this. Let's do part 2.
Part 2.
There.
Maybe we can get Sean on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can have Sean. Yes, absolutely.
That would be
He will love it.
amazing.
Yeah. Sean will be beyond grateful.
Sean gets it. Sean's a marketing genius himself. I see all the marketing shooting off, and I know it.
He really is.
I see it.
That's what he studied.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did? He studied marketing?
He's a doctor.
He's a doctor?
He's a doctor.
Oh my gosh.
And also marketing is one of his big, hobbies.
Well, same for me.
Yeah. So yes, why don't we do 1859,
Let's-
Chuck? Why wait for another long project? Are you kidding me?
Right. This one.
Yeah, this one.
I
Let's do
wasn't
it.
sure what the status was, but yes, this one. Let's do it.
No, let's do it.
Okay, let's set it up. We're gonna put it on the books. You guys figure out when, but let's put it on the books.
Fast. I can call Sean on my way.
Let's call him after, because we're going to dinner with a different developer after this, right?
Actually, we should call Sean from here right now.
Sean, do you want to get on our podcast?
Yes. You know what? Let's do this right now.
Yes, call him. Honey, please call Sean, the $68 million developer on Bel-Air Road.
Let's see if I can get Sean on the line.
See if we can call him really quick to wrap up our podcast interview.
Wrap it up. Come on, Sean. Let's see if he picks up. For the most part, he always picks up.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I call you back?
No, Balakani, we have 1 second. Can you give me 1 second? Yeah. Balakani, you are on the air right now with Chuck and Amanda at a podcast. It's amazing. And
Hi, Sean.
Hello, Sean. Chuck, please introduce.
Hey, how are you, Sean?
Good. We're in a podcast. And I saw you, Balakani, of course, like the number one man, that you are. And so part 2, this podcast will come to 1859. What do you think?
Sounds good.
We want to interview you, Sean, because we know you're a marketing genius, and we need some of that knowledge.
And this is an amazing podcast. Yes. Chuck, what do you think?
Let's do it. Let's set it up. It's the next sunny day.
Sean,
Yes.
you have to, little tidbit, you can be the first developer because Ramton, we've been waiting for him for about a month and he was going to be the first. So you need to take that up with your friend. It's either going to be you or Ramton.
Ooh.
What do you think, Sean? Sounds good?
I guess Rampton.
Ramton's going
It's
to be
gonna
number
sound
2.
okay. Cheers to
Cheers.
Balakani.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you, Balakani. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's how you get
That's
this
how
done.
you get it.
Okay, honey. Hold on.
Bravo,
Let's
bravo,
just-
one job.
Amazing, epic way to wrap this podcast up, okay? Because we just had Amazing Cesar call Sean, the developer, for a $68 million project and talk about doing a podcast there. So that is the power of putting people together in alignment and making magic happen, but also the power of believing in yourself and going out and doing things when other people are not. Because
Right.
if I didn't door knock in the rain that day, I would have never met you, and this whole situation would have never happened.
And I would have never made Chuck.
You would have
either.
never
Full circle.
Yes.
And to say full circle, also at my Bel-Air listing, I'm going to have a full circle party where we're going to do a sound bath and meditate outside by the pool.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to plan that. So literally everything ties in together. But Cesar, I love you. I think you're incredible. I cannot wait for people to hear this interview. And then the next one, we'll get Sean on it. But me and Chuck and Lior from Rubbing Elbows want to thank you for being here. So guys, if you love this interview, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you part 2.
Yes, part 2 coming soon.
Part two. I love you.